Let's do this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly live training where we help runners, triathletes, and busy high achievers to stay injury-free, train smart, finish strong without burning out.
Even if you're juggling work, life, and recovery.
Yes. I'm Coach Shangri-La. I'm 2 times triathlon Guinness World Record holder, 48-time Ironman finisher as of this date, Ultraman finisher, creator of Smart Training Method, keynote speaker, and high-performance triathlon and endurance coach. We are here to share you proven strategies that will help athletes like you reach to the new level of success without burning out and while still keeping balance in your life with your family, with your work. And we also have here Coach Vineto, specializes in swimming.
Hi, everybody. I'm just making sure that we are live on YouTube and everybody's seeing the stream. So give me a moment.
All right. I think, yeah, I just heard myself. So we are good, Vineto. So we're good. All right. Well, everyone. So let me ask you something before we get into this swim training that we're going to do. Okay. Well, so do you feel strong on the bike? Okay. Confident on your long runs. You could be one of those who just love to run. You can go long, you can go hard, you love marathons. And then, but when it comes to swimming, you feel stuck, still stuck. You probably finished 70.3s or Olympic, and you're putting in time. How many swim workouts do you do each week? Put under the comment, okay? And you've been putting effort and you look at the time, damn, plateau. This is not moving. I mean, there's something wrong about that, right? Because if you're disciplined, you're doing the work. If you think about it, I mean, you did the same thing on your running. The more that you do it, you start seeing improvement. Same thing with the cycling. And then just like how I did back in the days, I said like, guess what? I'm going to do the same thing. It worked for my running and my cycling. Okay. But it didn't. That's for me, and that's for a lot of athletes that we've seen. Because despite all the work, you probably, feel like there's like this unknown swimming. There's a question mark. Your pace is still stuck. Your legs still keep sinking. And when race day gets closer, you wonder if it's full Ironman, am I ready for that 2.4 miles swim and I had to bike? Damn. Or that 70.3. Who here have a race coming up? Put under the comment, what's the race? Is it sprint, your first sprint triathlon?
Is it Olympic?
Yeah.
Is it 70.3?
Put it under comment. I'm sure you're super excited. Guess what? We got 4 months left, right? So you guys are like, oh, it's training time. Okay. Well, guess what? Carlos was in the same spot, and that's our special guest. You're going to be so blown away and be so inspired of like how much he has transformed, and you see it. We're showing this to you so you can see what's possible. Okay. Well, Carlos is a single dad, a sub 4-hour marathoner, an ultra runner who was once 350 pounds in 2019. And I'm going to show you right now, or what we're going to talk about here is the title of our training today, Swim Plateau in Open Water Confidence Breakthrough from 2:33 to 1:47 minutes per 100 yards, single dad of 3, first Ironman, now an ultra swimmer. And he has been swimming 98% in the pool since October last year. Like no open water. Because I know I heard a lot of you guys like saying like, Coach, I don't have open water. Okay, well, this one, you're going to get a lot of insights. Coach, I'm really busy. Well, today, you're going to get a lot of insights as well. Carlos is a single dad of 3, has full-time work, doesn't give any reasons. He said he wants this one. And in fact, we also invited him last time for a training, that same athlete who was once 350 pounds in 2019. After we help him transform his swimming and still continuously transforming, he did his first 100K. As you can see, back to back. If you miss this training, go ahead and put hashtag, what is this one? Hashtag recover fast comeback. Here we talk about recoveries and more of ultra running, but today we're going to talk a lot about swimming. So if you're a runner, hey, I want that too. put under the comment, recover fast comeback. If you want to learn more of how to recover fast, we talk about that there, even nutrition right there. So put there, recover fast comeback. Okay. So now, well, he swam. Okay. For, let me go back there. We're going to go fast on this one. I promise. So before he was at 2:33, he has sinking legs. 1 month after that, he already improved 2:13 minutes per 100 yards. He did not stop while still cycling, swimming. He jumped from 1.2 miles swimming of 70.3. He has finished already at the time to 70.3, and his eyes was set on full Ironman. So if you're the athlete who's going for that full Ironman, you've been wanting it so badly, today, you're going to get a lot, because Carlos has been dreaming full Ironman since, I believe, 2020. He's going to tell you his story. And, so here, after, like his first full Ironman, 134, first full Ironman. And then 3 months after that, he finished 8.2-mile marathon swim. And not just, so this was him, 2019. Okay. Fast forward, we're going to show that this is him now. He finished Mackinac Island. Anyone here from Michigan or who had gone to Michigan, you're familiar of Mackinac Island? So what he did.
It is a long swim.
And it's not just he swam it self-supported.
That is hard.
Self-supported 8.2 miles. Remember your 1.2 miles with all the kayakers around? And this one is, out there with the current. Well, so let me see this one here.
Serious respect.
Well,
Serious
today
respect.
I'm going to show you how we help Carlos go from stuck at 2:35 pace to ultra swimmer without open water, without a swim coach in person or on the deck, while juggling real life. Okay. And we're going to break down why more volume isn't the answer for your 2.4-mile swim. Okay. And even on his 8.2-mile swim, he only also did 2 times. And we're also going to talk about
the invisible limiter most triathletes don't even realize is holding them back.
Okay. And how to train for open water even if you're only in the pool. If you're stuck in the same pace, if you have sinking legs, if you did not know technique before, or if you have full Ironman or your longest distance ever, this is the training for you.
So those watching, before we dive in fully, if you can hear and see us okay, put a like or a heart or whatever you see in there, so we can see that it's coming through loud and clear and you can actually see us.
All right. Well,
I saw Alan and Myra was joining in, but I just want to make sure everything's good.
Okay. And then type, because I'm going to ask you questions today as well. I want you guys to be engaging and be participating. So type in the next coming months for, what are you aiming for? What's your next milestone? Is it full Ironman swim? Put full Ironman swim, or 2.4-mile swim. If it's like, you're aiming for Texas, which is coming up, a lot of athletes are actually training for IM Texas, which is next year, early next year. Put that up. 70.3 swim, Olympic swim, put that up there. Okay. Because today we're going to get you unstuck for good. All right. Well, let me introduce Carlos. Carlos from Texas. How's it going, Carlos?
Hi, Coach. It's going great today. I mean, just got back from the gym, or just went to go to the gym and at the interview, and then after this, I'll be jumping on the bike.
I'm glad to have you again here. I know you're pretty busy. You just got off from your work and gym, and then you're doing your own transitions.
Yes, exactly.
Transition. Okay.
It's all part training.
Yeah. Well, again, Carlos, congratulations on that 8.2-mile swim.
Big one.
That was 7 hours. Tell me what was going through your head, while you're at the line and with all the rest. Was it your first time in Michigan?
It was my first time in Michigan. It was my first time in swimming in cold. Well, to me, I'm from Texas. Okay. We're used to temperatures right now in the summer being like 90s to 100s, right?
Yeah.
The open waters are like in the 80s. So over there in Michigan, the water being like in the 60s, mid 60s, it was cold for me. Like, I mean, for a lot of people that are from Michigan, it might not be cold, but for me, it was cold. So my biggest concern was jumping into the cold water, even though I was wearing a wetsuit, right? But it was my first time in Michigan, and it's a beautiful state. There's still a lot of undeveloped land, so it's a
Yeah.
lot of greenery. I loved it. And the Great Lakes, it seemed like an ocean. It didn't even seem like a lake. It seemed like a giant ocean,
Huge.
to be honest.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge. Yes,
Yeah.
huge. You
Well,
look and you don't see islands out there. You just kind of just see great, giant ocean, but it was a lake.
yeah, well, tell us, like tell us how you were feeling or what was in your mind swimming because you swam self-supported.
Mhm.
Self-supported, okay? And you're not just going back and forth like a loop like what you did during training. You went around the island. And that was like honestly everyone when he said that like Carlos, what's going on in your mind? Why are you self-supported? So yeah, so tell me what was going on in your mind because what was it, were you worried? What was going on?
Um, Going into the water, I posted up on the Foxy on the coaching page. I posted a picture of me smiling before going into the water.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had done the training already. I had put in the long hours in the pool. So I wasn't worried about the swim, to be honest with you. I knew that I was gonna jump in. Like I said, I was more worried about the cold water, but about the swim, I wasn't worried about this being self-supported, not having a kayaker, not a worry at all. To be honest with you, it was the last thing in my mind. More than anything, I had a couple of personal issues going on in my mind, but during the swim, I didn't wear headphones. I didn't wear
This
anything. It
is
was just,
This is him at the
yeah,
start line. He was all happy. He was all ready. Was actually busy and traveling just a week prior, doing a big project as
yeah. I
well.
was traveling for work a week prior. The weekend prior to that, I was traveling for work, and then
Yeah.
came back to Texas, and then traveled to Michigan. But
Uh-huh.
no, as you can see in the picture there, I was smiling. Jeremy was there, his wife was there, and they kind of made a joke, and I was smiling. I didn't have any concerns about going into the water.
Yeah.
But no, during those 7 miles, 8.2, 8.5, really at the end with my Garmin.
Your favorite map now.
Yeah,
8
that's,
miles around,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, so no, I didn't have any concerns. Like I said, I didn't have music playing. I just kind of, kept thinking to myself, um, you know,
That's
kept
him.
going through some scenarios in my head, and I just enjoyed the water and the swim during that time. It was, I believe, until mile 6 when I had a little bit of a back spasm
Yeah.
because from being in the wetsuit, actually, because during my whole training, as you know, I didn't train with a wetsuit.
Mm.
Just it was just pure,
Well, we're gonna talk
just.
about your training in a bit later.
Oh, okay,
But right
okay,
now, like,
yeah,
what,
but
what was on your thoughts like? So, like, it seems like you're pretty relaxed then. Like, you're
I
confident,
was.
happy, and you're looking forward. It's like the entire because it was 7 hours, 8.2 miles.
Yeah, I was relaxed the whole time. Like during the whole time, I was relaxed. I mean, I had some thoughts in my head going on about some,
You were thinking about the
but
future.
yeah, I
He
was
was
thinking
planning,
about,
mapping out the races next year. Just kidding.
yeah, I was thinking about where my past had been, right? Where I was, being at 350 pounds, what I had done to overcome that, what I was doing currently in my life, and what I wanted to do in the future. More than anything, it was kind of like where I was, where I am, where I want to be. That's what was going on in my head during those hours, and I kind of had to imagine.
Well, let's remove your Superman cape for a minute.
Mhm.
Well, let's go back because Mr. Superman. Let's go back to a few months ago when we just met around September of last year, and
That's correct.
you were just about to do your Waco. Anyone here doing Waco 70.3? You probably see Carlos there. He's gonna be there. So he was about to do that, and before we met. What was your swimming?
Before I met you and before I reached out to you, my swimming it had plateaued. I wasn't making any progress. I was training by myself, and to be honest with you, I was stuck for months. And when I say months, it's not like 1, 2, 3. It was like 6 months that I was stuck, and I wasn't getting anywhere. 230, 240 was my best, and
Yeah.
even with my training, I couldn't get faster than that. To be honest, I just wasn't getting faster.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to reach out. I had already seen you, researched you, looked you up, and kind of seen that you were a world record. So I'm like, that's the person I want to train me. So I reached out to you, and that's when my swimming, and within that month, I'm not talking about like, a long time, relatively, it was within a month, my swimming went from like 237, it went down to like a 213, 215, right? It was a drastic drop per 100 yard,
Yeah.
right? So to me, it was a drastic drop because I was like, man, I'm never gonna get faster by myself. So yeah, it was a drastic drop. And then Waco came around, and I went in with a little bit hesitation, but I got out of the swim faster than what I thought I could, and it was a great, great, great swim. Waco last year,
Wow.
2024.
And I'm wondering what was the mind, like what was in your mind before about swimming? Like how were you feeling about swimming before we started working together? And then
Look
at
at
the race,
so,
did it change? Was there a mindset change
look at
too?
the
so,
face. I can already see it.
so swimming, to be honest with you, was I honestly don't know
Confused.
right now but it was my weakest sport. I would go into the pool, and I would felt like I was fighting with the water. It felt like it wasn't like right now you tell me it feels like easy, like I'm with the water, I'm one with the water, but I was struggling, I was fighting, I just had a hard time with the water. My weakest sport, to be honest.
Yeah.
100% honest. I just didn't like swimming. I was like, I have to go swim. So, but that was before Waco. And then actually in the previous interview that we had, we went over with that before Waco, I had done Galveston 70.3 in April 2024, and I had a real bad accident,
Mm.
right? Where I fell off the bike, I broke my teeth, my nose, everything, and I recovered, and I had to relearn how to breathe. But going through the 30-day boot camp, I relearned how to breathe, even with my nose being messed up. So I relearned how to breathe. So it was like kind of learning from scratch how to breathe from scratch again.
Wow.
So, but yes, it was a struggle swimming for me, and it was not fun. I did not look forward to any of the practice swims.
Now he asked for it. Like seriously,
Now
like,
it's
hey,
like,
Carlos, we're not training anymore. Like there
yeah,
were
no,
times.
now it's now the swimming is more like hey, I'll go swim, and I'll just kind of blank out my mind and enjoy the water, and
Like your
it's not a
meditation,
struggle.
relaxation.
Yeah, exactly. It's therapeutic. Just like running is therapeutic for me, swimming is therapeutic.
Could you believe you're gonna say that?
I
Like you're
never thought I was
comparing
gonna say it,
running to swimming. You said,
but
That's the first time.
each one is its own ultra sport. But yes, swimming, you're not wearing headphones. You can't listen to nature. You don't hear birds. You don't hear anything.
You're breathing
You
and
just hear your breathing, or if you're swimming in the lakes, you just hear the waves, here and there, and that's it. And if you're in the pool, you don't hear anything. You just hear the water as you're, reaching out for your stroke
yeah,
and gliding.
there
That's about
yeah,
it. It's
yeah,
very relaxing. Very relaxing.
yeah,
I'm wondering how does everybody else feel about swimming?
yeah.
Yeah, like be honest. How confident are you in your swimming right now? If you had to say from like 1 to 10, where are you at with your swimming right now? What's the confidence level?
1, no chance. I don't want it. That was me. I don't want it. Or you could probably 10. I got this. Put 10 there. And so like I want to know what's your next longest distance because Carlos here keep like bumping up. I know he got 8.2. I don't know what's next, but for everyone here who's watching this one, where are you at in your swimming? What's your longest distance? And are you seeing or looking into bumping that up to the next, distance?
Or, if you are where Carlos was before and kind of struggling and not feeling good about it, are you looking to gain that confidence and have it become more easy?
Yeah. Well, we're actually reading here. Myra said, amazing. Alan, what's going on? It's Mackinac.
Oh,
it's Mackinac. Sorry.
Not Mackinac.
It's my
never gonna do it.
It's my Filipino. Oh, Mackinac. You're funny, Alan.
Saying a joke.
I love it. All right. Well, so my question for you, when you were training on your own, what were you doing then? Before
Before I was just going to the pool and I was okay, let me swim for nonstop. It was just nonstop swimming. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to the pool and I'm gonna swim, 1,800 yards today, and I would just swim nonstop. It was
okay.
no drills, no nothing, no structured drills, no techniques, no sprints. I didn't actually before knowing you, I didn't even know that you could sprint in the water. That was like, I was just like swimming and I didn't have any concept of this is my easy pace, this is my moderate pace, and this is my fast pace. No concept of that. Again,
one speed.
Yeah.
I was one speed, yeah, again, but I was I learned how to swim. Self-taught. So at that point it was
how'd you teach yourself then?
It was it took me the first time, it took me 9 months to learn how to swim because I went like from swimming like I would swim 10 yards in the pool and I would be like,
oh, okay.
At that point I was already running marathons, right? But in the swimming pool it seemed like 10 yards seemed like so it seemed like a struggle. Like when I say it seemed like a struggle, I could run 26 miles without a problem, but swimming 10 yards was killer for me.
Gotcha.
Right. So it took me about 9 months to learn the first time how to swim 2,000 yards. But at that point in my swimming, I was a single speed. I didn't know that there was an easy pace. I didn't know that it was like running where there's an easy pace, there's a moderate pace, and then there's a hard pace, right? And then you got your super technique, which is a feisty fox fast, which is the
feisty fox fast.
which is harder than hard, right? You just give it all you got and boom.
Yes.
Right.
You're really doing your workouts. I love it.
So before that,
go back here. You said back in 2022 when I struggled to swim 1,000 yards. Never did I imagine that 3 years later, I'd be swimming more than 10 times that distance, 15,000 yards with a smile on my face before starting to swim in the open water of the Great Lakes. As I continued the athletic phase of my life, I continued to push my limits beyond my comfort zone. I'm not the fastest swimmer, cyclist, or runner, but I do have determination that doesn't allow me to quit once I set my mind on something. Anyone else who can relate to that, who can resonate to that? Like, hey, I'm not here for speed, but I want, I'm gonna go do whatever it takes. I'm gonna put my eye on something because that's who you are, Carlos. You don't allow yourself to quit.
I don't. Usually once I put my mindset, I focus, I become laser focused on something and I'll see it one way or another. I'll try to see it through. Whether it be in my training, whether it be in personal life, in a relationship. Once I become laser focused, I'll see it one way or another. I'll see it all the way through.
Yeah. You're gonna say something?
I love that. That's amazing.
Anyone else who's laser focused here? What are you laser focusing on?
I know we've spoken to a lot of athletes who are, big on really challenging themselves and going after that next level, whatever that is. you know, for themselves, just to keep
Yeah.
growing, keep expanding.
Well, I think one of the things that actually Carlos was really happy about is that he was really figuring it out on his own. But then when it just clicked, it only took a month. It like,
Yeah.
it just like, you know, some athletes, and that was me too. I thought it was going to take for many years, which it did for me. But with the 30-day swim boot camp and other programs that we had, the goal of Carlos, he never, did you even think that you're going to do the 8.2 miles? Because you were only
No,
aiming
no.
for full Ironman.
Yeah, my goal was just to do 2.4. When I first started my journey, my weight loss journey, my goal was just to do an Ironman.
Right.
And that was a full Ironman. And that 2.4 was like, okay, I'm gonna do 2.4, and that's gonna be the most I'll ever swim in my life. I will never swim more than 2.4 miles, right? Because, you know, there was that was like I don't enjoy swimming. Right. That, to be honest with you, I didn't enjoy swimming, but the most I was gonna swim in my life was 2.4 miles. Right. So yeah, Ironman Texas was my goal. I completed that goal successfully. You know, successfully completed it, and after that, I set my eyesight on another goal.
So
Right.
first full Ironman, and actually that was his his longest distance at the time. Because during training, you know, like we didn't even like go open water for 2.4 miles.
Mm-mm.
The training done, like I think only like probably one, and it was only 1,000, I think, or 2,000 because of the
It was
weather.
about 2,000. Yeah, it was just
That
one
was it.
open water swim, and it was about 2,000 just because
Yeah.
around January, February, March here in
Oh,
Texas, it gets cold. So it wasn't like the waters weren't as easy accessible during
right,
those
right.
times, or especially down here in the valley where I live at.
Yeah. But see, the time is 1:34 for a first full Ironman. I would say that that's pretty strong, considering that that's your longest distance then.
Hmm.
1:34, 2:14 minutes per 100 yards. So what he was doing in the pool got translated and even stronger, more confident to the open water, despite that there's no open water access. Is that something like light bulb to you guys for those who are actually like, or some like hope, like if you guys don't have open water swim, that it is possible, but you got to do the right training. Okay.
And I'm wondering, Carlos, what made you decide, okay, I need help with this swimming. I'm really annoyed by this, or you know, whatever was in your mind. What made you really decide, you know?
What made me decide, like I said, was after my accident, I couldn't swim, I couldn't breathe right because my nose, one of the nostrils, when my septum was deviated, one of my nostrils is bigger than the other one, so I couldn't breathe right again underwater. So going through the 30, that was the intention, to relearn how to swim. Basically, like, okay, let me scrap everything and learn how to swim again. Because I couldn't breathe. I kept one nose kept going in, you know, more than the other. But it's because when I was used to breathing, when I came up, I would breathe in through the nose, right?
Gotcha.
So that was my thing. And that's the way I taught myself. But going when I met coach, that's when I learned, like, you don't breathe through your nose.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
breathe through your you breathe through your mouth, the Popeye.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So that's the reason why I reached out to you guys to learn how to swim again properly.
Oh,
Right. To
well, that's
relearn how to
good.
breathe.
Yeah. Because
And at the
Carlos,
same time, I was tired of swimming, not getting anywhere,
it was just the right
not
time.
getting faster with my pace.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
I was doing something wrong, obviously.
yeah. Well, everyone, I know a lot of athletes actually are having a hard time with breathing. If you could just, you know, like you just heard that he was relearning how to breathe, like breathe even outside the water, right? You were just
Yeah.
learning because you had an accident. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the first few weeks in Faster Freestyle Formula. Okay. Is there any you know, like what you felt different, or what actually, let me show you, because I know everyone is curious, like what did you do in training back then? So here you are. This is
Yes, behind the scenes. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready?
so like they're
Let's see
curious
it.
how, because by the way, I have not met, unfortunately, fortunately, just kidding. because otherwise we'll be hanging out a lot. Yeah, I haven't met Carlos in person. All this time since September, it's been like just remote.
Exactly.
A lot of athletes would say, how would you teach me how to swim? How can you make me faster? And my coach here cannot even make me faster. How about like, I'm gonna show you right now. All right. And you'll see the difference. And the hope for this one is actually for you guys to learn and can apply it in your training. Is that good? I'm gonna show you the secrets.
Yes,
All
let's
right.
do it.
So basically this one was back in September. This is how, like, so what I asked for athletes is actually to provide, videos so that I can see. And what I do there is that I review frame by frame. So if they give me 11 videos, I review frame by frame, do a slow motion. And I've been doing this one over 10 years already. Vinetta, you're going to say?
And as you can see, they're not like fancy videos. They're just phone.
This phone.
Just your regular.
And at the time, it's kind of cool to actually read where he was at back then. He said, he saw his legs, he saw his body, he saw how he was kicking, and he said it's just flopping around. Didn't realize that they did that, but I work on it now that I saw in the video. Okay, so now it's several videos here, and so here what happens is that these are the feedback. As you guys can see, he's doing, like he's doing step by step. He's not even swimming here. He's more of relearning the body movement.
Mhm.
He could swim. He already finished a 1.2 mile swim before. He had finished 70.3 before. But what's great about it is, but he said, I'm gonna scratch what I learned. I'm gonna have to relearn swimming. And so he was very
Exactly.
cool, which is I really appreciate that. Much easier for me to coach. And so as you can see, he's just basically, all right. And this one, I said, at this point, I'd like you to bend your right elbow. Have your fingers lower than your wrist lower than your elbow. Okay. It's harder for shoulder to keep straight, blah, 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 blah. All right. So as you guys can see, it's not just giving workouts. It's completely different. Because a lot of athletes like, oh, I want to learn how to swim. Go get the plan. There's like the Form Goggle has a plan. There's a lot of online plan, but that's not the only thing we do here, because it's not going to work that way. We got to learn how the athlete, we got to teach the athlete. So like, for example, here.
And we need to pretty much start from where you are.
Yes.
Not from, a random spot chosen by somebody else. Because then you have a big gap of where you're starting from and wherever that plan is starting from. And you can't close that gap.
Because I could just tell, hey, Carlos, just do this thing. I think it's cool. But no, like what I do is that I study, I really review and focus on where the athlete is at. And right now it's Carlos. And it's not just do this drill and go back and forth. I go like, okay, what is the arm doing at the time? And I said here, whenever you breathe to the left side, your arm drops. We want to ensure that you keep your leading arm up when you breathe and then execute a catch. And I said, master this. Okay. And then next, that was the right arm. Now, the next thing is, what is the left arm doing? Okay. This is what you're going to be doing on the left arm. Okay. And then the next thing is the catch. So it's like step by step. Okay. And all this one is all about Carlos. So now, Carlos, how was that for you?
Well, you providing me the feedback allowed me to see, okay, well, this is what I'm doing wrong. But it's something that me swimming by myself, I wasn't recording myself before, but at the same time, I didn't know what a proper technique should look like. So by you providing me that feedback allowed me to correct it. And it wasn't something that I corrected instantaneously. No, it took time to correct.
Mm-hmm.
The more I did it, the more I thought about it and consciously corrected it, it became subconscious to where my body naturally acquired the correct form for swimming. Now I just it's a
automatic.
reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's automatic. I don't really think about it. It's just like, do it, and it's kind of like a little game that I do.
Kind of like
Where
a
it's
game,
like,
huh?
where it's like a pull catch, and then glide, so
I see you
kind of,
smiling now whenever you're like talk about it. Earlier when you talk about
yeah.
fast, you're like
No, I didn't like swimming. I like you can ask anybody know me that knew me back in 2022, 2023 actually. It's when I hated swimming. Like I had to wake up to do the swimming, but I hated it. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. But now it's just like, I have fun with it. I enjoy it. I like
Yeah.
it.
Well, everyone, so those who are still on, I'm gonna give you a gift at the end if you'd like. Just gonna basically I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Um, so here I'm gonna show to you what I would suggest for you to go through in your technique. All right. So first of all, you want to know what the symptom is. You felt something, something is off, something is awkward, something like, hey, I feel my back is hurting, or I'm drinking water, I'm not really swimming, right? So
or I feel my legs are really sinking.
Yeah. Or I don't know what really my left or my right arm is doing. I'm just going through the flow. I know my right arm, but my left arm, yeah, it's there. Or my legs,
Hmm.
yeah, it's there. Okay, because I was like that too, because I was breathing on one side before. I didn't know until I'm like, yeah, all the muscles are waking up. So here you go. Here's what I would like for you guys to do. This is our faster freestyle formula, the steps. So first, feel something off. That's the symptom. So identify the symptom: breath, sink, drag. And then number two, you want to diagnose the technique limiter, use the fix map. Okay. And then do the right drill, not just any drill. You want to be able, a lot of athletes, they just continue to do freestyle. They're okay, I'm going to think like this. But it's really hard to correct technique if you're doing freestyle. You want to break it down to technique drills. And I know a lot of athletes may have come here. Oh, Carlos did an 8.2 miles. I want to learn how he did it. Guess what? Even until when he's training for the 8.2 miles, he was still doing technique drills.
And even if you copied all of the steps, the actual things that Carlos did, it wouldn't be your steps.
Yes, it's personalized. Kind of like your nutrition.
Because your body moves a little bit different in water. Everybody's body is a little bit different.
There's a habit performed already. Like for me, for example, I still do technique drills until now, and I analyze it myself. So now, verify correctness through video feedback. So if you have a coach or a mentor who you believe is expert, just don't go to anyone, because if you start doing it and you're not getting the right feedback, you might get just stuck to the wrong one. If you're doing a technique drills and you're going back and forth, let's make sure you check that one, because it might be just false confidence. Because if your pace is not moving, and you're doing technique drill but it's not moving, then whatever you're doing may or may not be contributing to whatever is doing there. Does that make sense, everyone? So the next one is that it's not just about doing it. You want to reinforce it, meaning that you want to repeat that good habit several times and then put it under what I call pressure or under stress or the race condition, because it's not just about doing one lap of that technique. If you want to go fast, you want to be able to hold that technique for fast pace. If you want to go to open water, you want to be able to hold that even with the current. If you want to go endurance, you want to be able to hold that also. Okay, so, and that's why there is this, work on this. And if you want this one, I'm going to give it to you by the end of this. We have the chart here, but yeah, just I wanted to talk to you guys about that, so you'll know, what feels off to your stroke, what to do. Okay, this is actually a great resource. A lot of athletes have been asking me about this. But going back to you, Carlos. Okay,
I'm wondering, like, what was really standing out for you when you were going through this training? What was really like helping you?
What's helping me was the breakdowns and the techniques, and at the same time, it wasn't like it was I might be using the wrong word, but it wasn't like a monotone training. It wasn't like, okay, This is what I did this exact drill last week on Monday. No, it wasn't I mean, yes, the drills, kickboard drill is essential because you have to do the kickboard drills, even if I don't like it. But it reinforces, your leg kicks. It helps you build that thrust that will get you going, right? Using fins will allow the ankle mobility. That way you're not, you're not stiff.
Yeah.
It'll give you your ankle mobility, right? Using the paddles will reinforce stronger, like my tricep got built. I'm not sure
Look
if the
at that
camera can catch it
showing
live.
off.
Right. So the tricep got built by using the paddles, right? And that reinforces the catch and the pull, right? So all of this, even though it doesn't at first to me, like I'll admit it, I'll admit this, I'm like, why do I need to do that? But then like that's because I was focused on just like,
Distance.
my face. Yeah.
The
But then
distance
once
is
I
so
stand
big.
back and look at the
Right.
bigger picture, like you've told me, coach, I stand back and look at the bigger picture. Now I can see what all those individual drills did and how they allowed me on the overall to improve my overall technique. I'm doing it in a circle, but it's true. Like this helped this, and then at the end, it helped my overall swimming technique.
We saw.
Right?
Yeah.
Without that, I wouldn't have been able. I think at one point I told you, if I'm lucky if I get to like a 2 minute pace, if I ever get to a 2 minute pace, that was honestly my expectation. I never thought I would be getting to like a 150 or a 140 or a 137. Like never in my life did I think I could swim 100 yards in 137. But I can swim it like that, and I can sustain 700 yards for 150, 147 nonstop, right? It's easy now, but I wouldn't have been able to achieve that if I hadn't gone through all the drills, and try
Really.
to. But yes, it wasn't a monotone training. It was a training that changed week by week by week by week. And as you saw my training progress through Training Peaks, you went ahead and made adjustments
Oh yeah.
as needed.
Well,
Yes.
I'm gonna expand what Carlos said, because a lot of athletes, even I, when if I'm gonna train for that ultra swim or longer swim, for some athletes they're gonna go for distance. All right, I'm gonna go 6,000 here, 7,000, 8,000. But basically, that's a lot of athletes who's gonna do that. But what we want you to be a strong, confident swimmer. And so that's part of it is the faster freestyle formula. A lot of athletes, all right, I'm gonna do endurance. And they missed out on technique, speed, and open water skills. Now, Carl's didn't have open water access, not he only did again 2 during the 8.2 miles, but we did a lot of the skills in the pool that he also hated at the time. I was having him do water polo.
I hated that one, but it became. Once I was out there in the open water, realized why water polo was important. For sighting, like I mean,
You were thinking of me, huh? You're like,
I was like, man, I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know why I'm gonna need scuttling, right? Why I need water polo. But yeah, when you're out there swimming in the open water, water polo comes in handy for sighting, right? It comes
yeah,
in handy, definitely comes in handy for sighting.
yeah,
Scuttling in Michigan, if any of you have ever been to Mackinac Island, it's rocks. It's not like it's a beach sand, it's rocks. So obviously you don't want to step on the rock, so you scuttle all the way to the shore as much as you can to avoid stepping on the rocks for too long.
yeah,
Right. So yes, it's all these techniques, all these drills come in handy at one point or another, even if you don't think they're necessary for an Ironman. Because I
yeah,
mean, you never know. Maybe an Ironman isn't your ultimate goal, and maybe you're gonna push further after you do an Ironman. I mean, to me, I thought an Ironman was gonna be my last one, but obviously it wasn't, right? And
yeah.
there's other goals, as coach knows. Next March, what's what's my next goal for next year. So
Man, by the way, everyone, you guys gonna want to follow Carlos. He's gonna go for Ultraman. It's 3-day event in Arizona, cold water, around 50s, but basically 3 days. So he will swim 10K swim, followed by a 90-mile bike, And then day 2, around 170-mile bike. Day 3, 52.4 miles run. All of those each day has 12-hour cutoff. So it's not just about going long. You got to be fast and strong and be able to recover fast, and your nutrition is dialed in.
I'll tell you the secret. On day 2, when you wake up broken, yeah.
So
if you're not trained properly, that's what happens. And then you're like, why am I doing this?
so yeah, so I had done that in the past, and I did the Ultraman World Championship Kona. Really, really love it. But that's what I'm like teaching everyone, you know, like in terms of recovering fast, nutrition. But one thing that I wanted to point out here is that it's not just about technique. And I know Carlos had learned this one even as early as 2.4-mile swim. So if you guys are doing 2.4-mile swim, pacing or speed is important. And that's one of the worries of Carlos, because he said, Coach, I usually go fast at the start. I don't know how to pace. And I said, Carlos, I got you. We're gonna train on that. And we trained him on 2.4. Why do we want to learn how to pace? Because if you think about it, you're a marathon, right? You don't run your 10K pace for your marathon. You pace yourself. All right. Same thing with your swimming. You know, it's not a sprint, right? And you gotta be, you know, you want to know your RPE, or rate of perceived effort, so you can adjust, and so that it becomes automatic. You know your pacing by feel. And guess what? That's what we did for Carlos. Let me show you how precise Carlos has been in training, because he learned this one early this year for 2.4 miles training, and next thing for 8.2. I did post this one. So one of the things that I do is I analyze and look into where is this athlete at. So this one is my analysis. So what I had him do, this is one of the workouts that he did. It's about 11,200 yards, 6.4 miles. One of the long ones. This one is not his longest during training, but one of his long ones. And it was in the pool. And look at the pacing here. It's a 6.4 miles. I'm going to read it because it might be too small in your screen. But basically, there's a 2,000 yards. At the beginning, his pace was at 2:04 minutes per 100 yards. The next is that he did 4x500. His pace was 2:04 to 2:07. He did 1,000 yards next. His pace was 2:05. And then 2K, his pace was 2:05. He did 4x500. His pace was 158 to 2:05. He's still cranking up some speed there. We got sub 2 there. And then the last 1,000 yards, it was 2:05. For athletes who are going long, oftentimes if you're not pacing right, or you're getting fatigued, or you don't have the muscular endurance, or you cannot hold your form, you may notice on a longer distance, whether that's 1.2-mile swim or 2.4-mile swim, that you may be going slow, right? Now, the question is that whether that is technique, your muscular endurance, or did you pace right? Okay.
So
well,
I want to know, those who are watching right now, how many speeds do you have currently in your swimming? Because usually athletes start out with one speed, then they figure out there's a slow speed and a fast speed, and then they kind of, a lot of them get stuck with 2 speeds, and that's where they kind of end up. But there's, like Coach Angela said, there's so many speeds. You can have any speed you want, just like with running.
Yep. And
so put your number. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 5? What is it?
All right. Well, right here, you know, like he basically paced his, you know, all of these intervals really well. Why? How do we know that? Because at the beginning, 2:04, 2:05. And guess what? This is a swim for about 4 hours. 4 hours, and he was able to hold that pace until the end. That's a great pacing. And it's not like his pace is 2. He can swim up, you know, like shorter intervals, 137, 140. He's under 2 minutes per 100 yards now. So going back there, It's yes, technique definitely important. You're gonna get free speed. You're gonna be more efficient. You're gonna have more energy. You can go longer. You can start thinking about future, not worry about anything. You can have your meditation, enjoy, and at the same time, you would want to also pace yourself. So this one applies to all, especially like 1.2, 2.4 miles, and of course, ultra swim. Is that good, everyone? You guys got that? Put under the comment what's popping up.
I said
any question.
Myra said she had 1 speed at the moment.
All right, Myra, let's get that a little bit of speed there. We'll help you out there.
Yes, let's get to 2 first.
Yes. Okay, well, Carlos, looking back now, if you hadn't trained this way, do you think you would have finished well on your Ironman Texas or your 8.2 miles, the Mackinac Island swim?
So I don't think I would have finished well, to be honest with you. If I hadn't trained this way, I wouldn't have finished because I mean the Ironman swim has a cutoff time, right? I don't believe if I had stayed at a 2:30, I don't think I would have gotten anywhere near a 2:15.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have met up the cutoff time, to be honest with you. Just because over a prolonged period of time, I was just tiring myself out. I would start off fast, and then kind of slow down, but now that I learned it, it's like I pace myself and then I speed up if I need to, and then I pace myself again, and then if I need to, I just speed up, right? I relax like needed. Right. And now for Mackinac has an 8-hour cutoff time. It's not like, oh yeah, you can start it and take 10, 12 hours. No, it's an 8-hour cutoff time now. So again, I have to pace myself, don't start off fast because you still have after 2 miles, you still have another 6 miles to go. So, start off at a slow rate and then slowly start building up and conserving your energy, right?
Yeah.
And that's where nutrition comes in and fueling comes in. And, as you know, like I think I wrote on my resume, I ate a lot the day before. So I happen to be a big boy. I'm not thin, but I'm not fat, but I was able to swim thanks to my fat reserves, right? So, that's where you need to dial in your nutrition, and this is where Coach Shangri-La will help you dial in your nutrition, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
Like I'm different from other athletes. Other athletes need to eat as they're swimming. I happen to be able to survive on my fat reservoirs because I mainly maintained it like a zone 2, zone 3. So,
Well, for Carlos, yeah. So I just kept checking. Hey, Carlos, how was your training? How much more? All right, Carlos, I'm not going to force what I know. What I want is that what works for you, because each athlete is different. Okay. So he has his own recipes.
Yes. Nutrition is so personalized, that is for sure.
Okay.
I'm wondering, Carlos, what surprised you most about the process? Like thing.
Was it speed results, mindset shift, simplicity?
Yeah, so it was actually the speed results, definitely, that's the big thing here. The simplicity, like communicating back and forth with you I don't struggle to communicate back and forth with you. You ask me how's it going, or I'll tell you, hey coach, completed swim, and you give me my feedback. So there's not a lot of struggle reaching out to you. If I'm not able, if you're busy, Benetta will answer, or someone from the success team will provide feedback. Okay. The way that the workouts are structured, they're not structured in a way that like I can't complete them. No, they're structured in a way that they're doable, right? But they're structured to me. They're not like, it's not like, oh, that guy had the same workout I had, but no, it's structured to me, right? According to my training development or my progress in swimming.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then the mindset, again, we went from a mindset that we spoke at the beginning where I kind of like hated swimming.
Yeah.
Where I don't hate swimming. I enjoy it. Like, I mean, it's relaxing. Like I mentioned before, it is relaxing. It clears your mind, just like running clears my mind.
Yeah.
Swimming clears my mind, and I just go with the flow. Like, no pun intended, but I go with the flow of just swimming, the flow of the water,
I'm having
right?
goosebumps because I'm glad that you're feeling that way because that's how I feel about swimming now, like before I
Mhm.
hated it too. And I'm really happy that you're also experiencing that. All right. Well, I want to ask you, someone's watching this one right now, and there's several people like actually watching, and we'll have the replay. And so, like, what will be your top three advices for someone like just remember where you were at? That was just like September, and then where you're at now, and then like actually hitting 130, 140 from 230, right? And you hated
Mhm.
it, and then now you're enjoying it. Like, just remember, I know it was not long, it was just few months, and I'm sure you can still remember. Do you still remember how it was before for you? Kind of. You like what it is now?
Yeah. So I mean, one of my advice is trust the training process. I know it's you've heard it plenty of times, but do trust the training process. Whether it seems like, why do I need to do that? Do it, trust it, and you will see on race day why you're doing that training. Okay. Um, Practice, 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 show up. That's
Yeah,
the second one. And if that's your goal, if your goal is to do an Ironman, don't change your mindset, become determined and laser focus on it so you can achieve it. I could have made, coach, I could have made during that time that I was training for Ironman, several things were happening in my life. I
yeah,
could have made 1,000 reasons not to show up to training.
yeah,
I, I could have, and I should have maybe on one of those days been like, you know what, I'm not gonna do it. But no, I was determined to do it and I was laser focused and I, did it. So just whatever drive you have, use that as your motivation, determination to laser focus on what your end goal you want it to be,
yeah. And that
right?
laser focus will get you what, Carlos?
Will will get you to the
Or
finish line that only you can see.
yeah,
I wrote that on my recap. I mean, the laser focus that you have will get you to the finish line that only you can see. Like only I could see the finish line that I want to achieve.
yeah,
I can tell you, coach, what I want to achieve, and you can tell me you're gonna achieve it. But at the end of the day, on race day, it's me that's out there, right?
yeah,
And only I can see the bigger picture of where I want to be at,
yeah.
right? So only I
Absolutely.
can see that finish line at the end of the day. Just like in Mackinac,
Yeah,
only I could see the finish line and how far or how much I had trained
yeah.
for that.
I'm getting chills. That's well said.
Well, Carlos, from all of us in Feisty Fox coaching team, we are so proud of you. You're a living proof of what's possible when you stop guessing, following a plan, trusting the process that works for you, your life, where you're at right now, and train smart, even while juggling with, like family, full time, the travel with your work, you know. So for everyone watching right now, if you've been inspired by Carlos' story, this is exactly what we do inside Feisty Fox Coaching. We help busy, high-achieving athletes who really want to level up, who want to see what their potential is, and also at the same time stay injury-free, train smart, finish strong, no matter your schedule, your age, or current confidence level. So I want to ask yourself this: what if you finally went all in on that version of yourself you're capable of becoming? You're not second guessing. You're like, that is what I want. I'm going to laser focus. I'm going to get that. No more wondering if you can fit it all in, whether you can do it or not. No more hoping whether your body can keep up, because I believe this one. Honestly, we can all train our body, whatever that is that you want to achieve. It's trainable, and I am that living proof as well. Like, I was like a nobody. I didn't know what I could do with until I got the 2 times Guinness World Record. We can train our body.
Mhm.
Yes.
Definitely.
And if you want help building a personalized swim plan starting from where you are so that you can fix your form, gain confidence, and finally swim strong, you can type hashtag swim plan in the comments, and I or Coach Angela will personally message you.
Yep. Well, everyone, I did promise earlier, if you guys want this one, I can also share that to you. Okay. So freestyle fix minimap, what's really holding your freestyle back? Put hashtag freestyle, well, fix minimap. I'll share that to you and the chart here, and then also what you want to do next. Okay. All right. Well, Carlos, congratulations again. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Everyone, you guys heard a lot today. Now
let's thank Carlos for all the insights that he shared.
Thanks,
and
Carlos.
sharing his journey with us.
We'll be following. It's been a pleasure.
Put hashtag value if you like to thank him for all the things he shared.
Well, thanks everyone. Thanks, Carlos. Continue
Thank you, Coach.
to and enjoy your workout tonight.
All right.
Thank you. Have yourself a great one.